ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another The First Descendant video. My name's SgtMoose, and today, guys, we're going to be talking about some preparation for Season 2.5. Of course, guys, as we know, the Season 2.5 is coming up in just a few days. Finally, guys, I cannot wait. And if you're like me, you're kind of standing around just waiting for the Season 2.5 to come out because you've already done everything. You've gotten the Battle Pass finished. You've gotten all that cool stuff done that you needed to do for the season. Well, there's still work that you can do, guys, and that's, basically making yourself a checklist and preparing for the content coming up in Season 2.5. Now, what I mean by that, of course, we have Serena coming out, guys, the newest Descendant. We also have new Ultimate Weapons coming out here at the beginning of Season 2.5 as well. So, if you're like me, I don't want to be going around farming this stuff as I'm trying to level up Serena and these weapons. So I'm going to go ahead and get those materials now that we need, and we're going to talk about everything that we're going to need today in the video. So I will say, guys, the first thing we're going to talk about is Crystallization Catalyst, of course, and I hope you guys have been grinding these catalysts over the course of time, popping one in the research and, just kind of being on a rotation with that, because there's really no fast way to get Crystallization Catalyst in this game. Of course, we do have a new event coming up with Season 2.5 that we're going to be able to get one catalyst every day for 14 days. However, aside from pulling out your wallet, there's really no quick way to get catalyst at this point. So basically, guys, I just want to mention that, of course, with Serena, the new weapons, all that stuff, you're going to need a lot of catalyst. And even if you start today, if you don't have any catalyst, you can still have enough by the time you're done farming Serena to be able to fully maximize her modules. So on top of that, guys, of course, coming in tandem with the catalyst is energy activators. I would recommend, if you don't have any of these, work on researching one of these as soon as possible, even today, because they do take 30 hours to complete. Of course, these increase your module capacity for your Descendant and your weapons. They're very useful as well. So I would recommend having at least one or two of these by the time the update drops. That way you'll have it ready to go for Serena and the new weapons. Also, guys, as far as gold goes and Kuiper, as you can see my numbers here, we have been playing this game pretty hardcore for a long time. So over the course of events, activities, all that stuff, we've netted a lot of gold and Kuiper. But don't let that gold be deceiving, because with these new weapons coming out, of course, you're going to be wanting to put weapon cores on them. You're going to be crafting weapon cores, all that good stuff. Crafting weapon cores, guys, requires a ton of gold. I mean, millions of gold. And of course, it's RNG, so you're not guaranteed to get the core that you want out of crafting the cores. So it is important. I would recommend, if you have a high number of gold right now, don't let that deceive you. I would go ahead and still farm more. And we, of course, have a lot of good gold and Kuiper farming missions. I, myself, personally, still like to use the Valby run missions up in the fortress. You could do stuff like that. You could go to the environmental contamination zone and down in the Echo Swamp. It is a great gold farm. A little bit of Kuiper down here too. If you have a bunny, you can get these missions done really, really quickly in the matter of seconds and farm these missions. We also have the likes of, if we come over to Steriland, we have the likes of Rockfall over here, or should I say the anticipated ambush point in Rockfall. This is another really, really quick mission that can net you gold and Kuiper as well. We have the Kuiper mine missions, or any mission that you guys know that you can net Kuiper and gold really, really quickly. I would definitely recommend doing that, because you never have too much of either. Now, coming over to the Void Abyss Fragments, guys, another very, very important material you're going to need for Season 2.5, not only for coring a weapon, but also for crafting weapon cores and also changing out cores on your weapons as well. Void Abyss Metal Fragments come from the Defiler and also come from the Shelter and Quarantine Zone. I'm assuming this is obviously going to change from Defiler to the Tormentor when the new season drops, but as of today, as you can see, there's the Shelter and the Quarantine Zone. This changes every day. These are just the 400% infiltration operations. So out of either of the two 400% infiltration operations, you can gain Void Abyss Metal Fragments as well. So I would recommend stockpiling as many of these as you can, hitting these 400%, hitting the Defiler, whichever you prefer. Now, also, guys, we do know we have a new dog coming in, the Labrador Retriever, that we also learned about. We're going to be farming for that as well. Now, to be able to level up this dog, this fellow, like we did with our original dog, we needed a few items. And what we needed was, of course, dog food. So we're coming down here, fortified supplement. Now this is what I used initially, pretty much exclusively. I used the fortified supplements to level up my fellow. You can also use the special synthetic calcium, and if you get lucky enough, you can come down here and get the ultimate protein compound. Now, for the ultimate protein compound, these can be very difficult to obtain, and as you can see here, you get these blueprints from the genetic information storage box, and luckily for us, we already own one of these compounds because we completed Operation Kate's mission. Now, I will say, these, at least for me, have been very difficult to get. I have ran the Void Vessel hundreds, maybe 1,000 times, and have never once gotten a protein compound blueprint out of these genetic material chests. But don't worry so much about that if you guys can't get one of these. The fortified supplements and the special synthetic calciums work just fine. The calcium blueprints are a little bit harder to obtain than the fortified supplement, but you'll be okay as long as you get some of these. Remember, in the Void Vessel on hard, I would recommend hard because you're going to get more. The Void Vessel on hard, open the genetic information storage boxes. These are going to be the most important boxes for leveling up your fellow. Before we go, another very important farm you can do as well for Serena to kind of get a jump start on her too is to farm her reactor. Now, the devs did leave us in on a little information about her elements. She, of course, is fire and singular, and she also has one dimension ability as well. So for particularly for her, for the reactor, we're going to work on fire and singular. That is going to be the reactor for Serena, guys. So, of course, as you know, you can go ahead, you can get difficulty rewards from hard, find out where these reactors are. Now, depending on when you watch this video, these do rotate, of course, weekly. So there's only 8 hours and 51 minutes of fire and singular reactors left, but this is just an idea of how to obtain these. Of course, you can see a Mirage Stone and Vermilion Waste. We have locations that are lit up here where we can go anywhere in these locations and do these missions and obtain fire and singular reactors. Now, personally, I'm stockpiling a few good fire and singular reactors just to see what kind of substat rolls I'm going to need onto them. So I would go ahead and definitely try to farm out a few of these, you know, kind of get a jump start. That way, when you farm out, either farm out or buy Serena, whatever you prefer, you'll have a reactor ready to go for her, and you won't have to farm that. So, very important again, guys. That's also going to change tomorrow. But, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to give you guys a quick guide, at least in my opinion, the best way. You know, we have 3 days left until the update. The best way and the best things to do to gear up for Season 2.5. Get ready for Serena and the new weapons coming in as well. I hope this video was some value to you. I hope it helped you out. And if you guys enjoyed the video, please feel free to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you haven't already, I would be greatly appreciative if you would feel free to support me as your official The First Descendant Creator. I will leave my code up on the screen there, guys. And as always, come tune into our streams, guys. We stream this game all the time, and we're also making news and videos about this game all the time as well. So with that said, guys, my name's SgtMoose, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.